Crosby from the corner, twisting and turning inside out. Beautiful move, trying to get the shot on. He holds, he shoots, he scores! Absolutely!
The pitch, high fly ball center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall. Goal!
Roethlisberger gives him a lot of room here. Juju Smith-Schuster off to the races inside the 30, the 20, the 10.
Welcome to another live edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline in the BPTV studio in Bethel Park. We're having some TV difficulties, so thanks to all of you for watching us on Facebook Live on Pittsburgh Sportsline. It's another one 3 weeks in a row. We're trying to work on this glitch, and we'll get down to it. Thanks for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and all points in between, even the city of Pittsburgh. And please get out to vote. You only have until 8 o'clock. Unlike Smoking Jim, if you're registered to vote, just please vote. He's never given up his government name. And Chip voted, I voted, and I don't know about anybody else. I'm not judgmental, but it's our right as Americans. I won't get too crazy, but you know, I believe in America and our Constitution, and you have the right to vote. It helps keep our democracy alive, and just get out there and vote if you can. I don't mind if you don't watch the show anymore. Get out the door. Get the vote. And thank you for the likes. We got up to 6,934, so we're inching along up. I met a nice couple of young people, a guy and a girl, at Jessica Lee's show on Halloween, and they liked me so much, they said, we'll add to your count on Pittsburgh Sportsline, because, you know, if I'm not handing a card out, wait, do I have one for you? Oh, I got a couple here. We can deal them.
Well, if you need one, see Nick's mom.
Somehow she got them. But I got a few for you, and we got a lot of sports, and we're not going to be doing a full hour show because we missed a few minutes of the show. But Nick got us on Facebook Live.
Just a note on that. I mean, we're on Facebook, so we don't even have to meet the hour anymore because we're not on cable, so we can go as long as you want, Al.
Whoa.
Facebook has no limitations.
Okay, this will be the extended edition, and we'll add in a little how we talk after the show. Of course, it's a family-friendly show, and we'll continue that after the show. And Nick, thanks for hooking me up on that. I didn't refresh it.
So Chip's not allowed to be a potty mouth.
No, Chip, no potty, no potty mouth. Here, we want to first start on. We got A2 here. Let's see how A2 does. I can't see how he's doing. I assume it'll show up here. Yes, look at that. Olive Oil's Pizzeria talked to Frank this week. And Frank said, Smoking Jim, can I just go out with one of those sweeties? He asked it 2 weeks in a row. He goes, just get me a number for one of them, please. Well, we have a number for Olive Oil's Pizzeria, 412-831-1900, Hillcrest Shopping Center. Can't miss it. Right down from Walgreens, or right up, you know, below Walgreens if you're coming up 88, or if you're going down, it's right past Walgreens. So check it out. And they got great Italian food, pizza. We get an XL pizza with pepperoni and a steak hoagie for all my volunteers here. We got A2, we got Ryan, we got A1, who just came back from vacation, Smoking Jim.
All right.
And we got Nick
And you know what
Callis.
else? Not a single hair out of place.
No. I don't know if Smoking Jim saw him, but make sure you check out Olive Oil's Pizzeria, though. Next up, a 501c3. We'll see what A2 does on this. I think he got it. He's ready. It'll show up a second or two later. Bethel Park Historical Society's Arts and History Center. Look how centered that is. And I wore the yellow shirt to have a better background. Look at how that ties in. And I know it's a little different color. Smoking Jim can't tell really, but I understand that. He's not colorblind. He just has other issues with color. But we'll talk about that later. And the pun was intended. They're at 2600 South Park Road. Right down the road from us, there's a red trolley, old-time trolley, not a T there. They got skeletons. Their big skeleton must have got blown down. They put it back up on one side. Now you can see it again in front of the 1905 original Bethel Park High School that was built there. It's been refurbished, 107 windows, new roof. They even put the driveway in. Now there's an asphalt driveway, and their plan is to sell bricks for a $100 donation with your name on it. And there's going to be one with Alan Levine, the talking machine,
Really?
as they pave the road in front of the school.
Oh,
I'd
that's
be honored,
awesome.
so I'm going to do it. And anybody else can donate. Smoking Jim, since you make so much money with all these other Bitcoins and other things that you have to report to the government, you can write it off, because if you don't understand, I'll explain. A 501c3 is a nonprofit registered with the government. And if you give them a $100 check, which I don't know if you can even write checks, but you could then write it off on your taxes. So it's something to look forward to. And they could use the money. They're working on their
Well, it's one of
second
those
$1 million project.
It's one of those latex checks.
Oh,
You know,
I
When you drop
understand.
them, they bounce.
I understand. I understand. We see it. Johnny Mariano says hello. Hello,
my
Johnny.
man. That's my man.
We miss you here.
That yellow shirt do look good on TV.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Smoking Jim. It inspired me when Vince Ornato wanted to buy one of my shirts. They're still available for $20. He wanted yellow. He goes, "Can you get a yellow?" I go, "My people can make anything."
Yeah.
And I go, "I don't have a yellow one," so I ended up getting one last year.
Have your people talk to my people.
Well, I don't trust your people.
Yeah.
We'll just skip the your people part. You can talk to my people, though. We end each show with Stay Joey Strong to honor the 8-year-old boy that died of brain cancer, DIPG. It's a dreaded disease. Once you're diagnosed, you're dead within a year. They raised over $100,000 for the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, another 501c3, Smoking Jim. They're popular in my neighborhood here. And Dave Fabus wants me to go get a cup of tea and get together. So he appreciates what I do and promote him and what we do, sponsoring him. We help film their 5K 1-mile superhero walk every time at the Bethel Park High School. It's their largest fundraiser. So we intend to carry on with that. And Dave, if you're listening, we'll try to get something in the next couple weeks, especially since this weather turned. And if you're in Pittsburgh, you appreciate the last month. We had summer, and now tonight we're going to hit 33 degrees. So for all you guys that are stubborn, since my kidney transplant, I get chilly. My furnace has been on for a week, and it'll be on tonight. And my son Drew goes, "Hey, Dad, don't worry, you won't be cold. We got heat." So just so you know, get prepared. Always be smiling. Thanks for all the likes. I had the founders of it, Kristen and Dean, on my show, the Talking Machine show, and they said we founded it on December 11th, 1 year ago, and they go, "You've been pumping us up with likes, so thank all of you for liking Always Be Smiling." And they asked, "Could you get us up to 1,000 likes?" Well, I took them from 680 to 847 because of you guys and you guys for liking Always Be Smiling, and they're hoping to get 1,000. Because their son, B. Bennett, that's who they named Always Be Smiling, he died a year ago at 16 and a half. So just to honor him, and they're doing great things in the community. You can watch my show. Check out the Talking Machine show on Facebook, and it'll be there with Dean and Kristen, telling their great story with great pictures and other information. Just doing great things in the area, helping just families. When you come in for a kidney transplant, there's like no notice when you're on the list. So you got to get up and you got to get a room, and you got to get rooms for your kids and different things. They pay for a lot of that stuff. So they're doing great things, just so you know. All right. Bethel Park Community Foundation has money for you. $100 to $5,000 in grants. You can go to bpcf.org if you're doing great things in the community and you need some money to help you out. You can get it. And we have our biggest event coming up, Bethel Bounty. It's $50 a ticket. There's probably like 25 food vendors. Bethel Bakery's there. My favorite treat from Bethel Bakery is Buckeyes. And I always tell them I'm going to have one or two, and I lose count, but they're delicious. And they know who I am because they say, how many Buckeyes do you want? I go, 2 are fine for now.
Yeah, a dozen.
2 at a time. 2 at a time, Chip. I know you're a chocolate man, so you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's a great event, $50 a person, and that is on the 14th. So check out Bethel Bounty at Crown Plaza on 14th, and that'll be great. And one of my trustees helps run an organization, the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. And I saw Mike Dobos there, and he said, see you on the 14th. So I'm telling all of you, see you on the 14th. Get your $50 tickets. It's a great way to help out, and it's our biggest fundraiser. Doing great things in the community. We've given out $1 million in 25 years, and we plan on carrying on as long as we can. So that's the Bethel Park Community Foundation. All right. Got another great group. Senior Helpers of Southwest Pennsylvania, 100 Broughton Road. I got a new little flyer that I grabbed here. You can give Jeff a call, the great owner of this business. Only been open for a little while, right on Broughton Road here, right across from Walgreens. I'm popular about talking about a national store called Walgreens, but it's right in the center on 88. Give them a call, 412-851-3223. They even help veterans. They help older people like myself, other people, your grandparents, aunts, uncles. They have caretakers that can do everything for them, you know, from helping them clean up to help them take care of themselves and loved ones. And just give them a call again, 412-851-3223. All right, we give a little shout out to Kathleen. As you know, each week I tell you about her possible kidney transplant. She's functioning about 16%, has to go to 15%. She had a little fall a month ago, so she's taking it easy. I promised her to take her to lunch, and I like to follow up on my promises. So we'll try to get together, Kathleen, when you feel up to it, maybe before Thanksgiving. We'll have to see. And you can just thank her for watching our show. And she has a donor. Can't tell us who it is until the day comes when she can get the transplant, but somebody's already in the system. And she thanked us for maybe somebody watching our show volunteered to give a kidney, and they're successful. So that's good news. All right. That's that new sheet that A1 gave me months ago. Look, it's still crisp. Look at those corners. Look at how A2's on fire. I just looked at my phone here. That's. I want you for BPTV. Tell them Uncle Al wants you to be a volunteer like A2, Ryan, A1, Nick, and all of us. Us three are all volunteers. So we're at BPTV right in the studio. If you're in high school, this is a great way to start for your career. Look at Nick. He graduated with WVU. Tell these young...
No.
No, sorry, Waynesburg U. Waynesburg U. I was thinking of my son.
Nobody confused those two.
I just did. You heard it first. This is live TV. We can't get that out.
At least at Wadesburg, they've got a full set of choppers.
Yeah.
Yes. And he got an actual paper degree, Smoking Jim, from Waynesburg U. I met his professor. Shout out to Lanny Fratteri. He was the MC of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. His sense of humor and things were just out of control.
How many people were banned from that Hall of Fame?
Well, I have to, as a little side note, since you mentioned Smoking Jim, Johnny Mariano goes, I voted for Smoking Jim Frazier for Emperor of Allegheny County.
Yes.
Well, you know he's not even registered to vote, and he cannot accept the votes. And I represent him, so I told him that he did get one vote,
All right.
but it'll be thrown out. But you can be here behind the cameras, in front of the cameras, like Nick does both. And like the other three here, we're just in front of the camera giving our opinions. And once in a while, we throw the facts out for you, which we'll have a little later
So they're going
on.
to backstab me like they did President Trump?
We don't really want to talk about politics, but I will talk about one word called LIE. And if you believe in that, we can't talk. So we're going to have some more sports, and we'll move forward on this.
That's why he's got a fiction almanac.
Well, that'll be later. We'll bring that up. It's fiction and no facts, and it's an almanac. But right now, we're going to go, oh, wait.
You forgot the most.
He distracted me with the big lie. It rarely happens. It rarely happens that I get distracted, but a big lie has distracted me for 4 years.
Almost got away with the sneaker.
Yeah. All right, look at that. It just popped up. Skeet Service Station, red, white, and blue station. A2's on fire, and I'm shaking a little bit. 6103 Library Road, Route 88, 6 miles away from here. 724-348-4715. Tell Skeets Lewandowski, who owns it, you want him to work on your car. It runs on gas, and I know you got gas. Chip says bring gas, and he'll fix anything that does run on gas. You name it. I'm not even going to mention it. If you heard it each week, there's a lot of things. They work on electronic devices too. Not Smoking Jim's 6 cell phones, but they do work on like hedge trimmers, weed whackers, screwdrivers, other things like that. So make sure you check it out. Right down the road, you can't miss it. Past Trax Farm. All right, now we'll get down to, he sponsors What's on Your Mind. Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
Coming at you.
you got to see Levine.
What was that over the head?
Well, I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine.
What?
I wish I'd have got my sticker, but I'm proud to be a voter today.
Disclaimer.
Hey, if Billy
Disclaimer.
Kai win by 1 vote, he can thank me.
We got at least 3 disclaimers, Tony Chick-fil-A. First of all, he doesn't file taxes because he doesn't have a government name. Smoking Jim Frazier's not his government name. He says he's voted, which I believe he never has. And the third thing, how can he vote in Monroeville for anybody else when he didn't even see a ballot?
Smoking Jim's motto has always been vote early, vote often.
And the thing is, he also says, I don't know where the voting booth is at. I don't know what they look like.
I found
But
it.
other than that, we can appreciate the entertainment, right?
Well, Al Levine, the talking machine.
Yes.
Who's my favorite player from a hockey player from Washington?
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin. If Tony got an Ovechkin jersey on, the captain. Is that Ovechkin?
Oh,
My favorite player.
That's not even.
Smoking
Jim.
A2, just stand in front of your camera.
I can't.
Take your headset off.
Stand out in front of the middle one. Go ahead.
Yeah, stand in front. We want to
Right
show
here.
and
The new
turn to the
jersey
camera.
Come on.
Oh, he's sharp. Pete, what's a Pete mean?
That's a custom jersey. But that's not even the Capitals, Smoking Jim. Look at the logo. Look at the Devils.
But it has a C on it.
Hold it, we're setting a record in the first 5 minutes of Smoking Jim. Another disclaimer that just like baseball, he never started following it till now, 10 years ago. And with hockey, he supposedly followed it with Yarmer Yager, but he liked Kit Kats and strippers. So I think that's why Smoking Jim knows about Yager. And now we have a swag master here, A2, wearing a Devils jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Devils. And guess where they're from?
New Jersey?
Yeah.
All right.
He came back. I'll stop with a disclaimer. Can you talk 1 minute without a disclaimer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I got to salute our captain. I missed him last week. Never here out of place. A1 Anthony, back from vacation.
How do you get to be captain? He's the guy in charge of the ones and twos.
Back from Porchview.
We may have to bring A1 up to tell you where he was.
But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine. I'm gonna get with my main man Ryan. Maybe we all can have a contest. We'll put a little money in and see who's the best editor. Give me a little film, Al. Let me edit your new show, Al. Let me prove myself.
Time out. And Smoking Jim, in a lucid moment, told me when he went to editing class, he fell asleep, never learned anything, and never edited anything.
I passed.
Now, I'm not going to check on PCTV. I have their number, and I know who's in charge, but I wouldn't put my best friend on alert about that.
I forgot
Then hold it.
everything I learned.
Tony from Chick-fil-A said, Smoking Jim has no problem in voting for all his sweeties.
That's my man.
And we'll move on
What
from
a-
Smoking Jim right now.
What a comment.
Thank you, Tony. And you're very observant, so keep on watching. Chip Hayner.
Well, let me just do my.
Oh, we ended with you.
I got to just say this before we go to Chip, and I'll be fast.
I hope so.
First of all, after that call that Coach Tomlin made with the kicker, he ain't getting the USC job. Listen, I hate that he used the race card. Not only did he use the race card, he pulled it from the bottom of the deck. The guy don't like no tough calls. It's out there about LSU. The sports reporter asked him about LSU, and he started getting all race card stuff. Listen, you got Pete Carroll that went from the New England Patriots to USC. You had Herman Edwards go from the Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs to Arizona State. You had Jim Harbaugh go from San Fran to Michigan. Lovie Smith go from Chicago to Illinois. NFL coaches go from college to the NFL all the time. That was a good question. Coach Tomlin had no business pulling the race card. I don't like that, especially when you dealing from the bottom of the deck. And that's what's on my mind.
Smoking Jim, you of all people, you can't even legitimately bring up the race card about it. And that's like somebody saying something so far out of context like you do. Like you say you own a Bitcoin, and
Yes.
no, you own a fraction, a small
Okay.
fraction of it.
Okay.
But you didn't understand. So the people asking the question don't understand. Tomlin's at the NFL, which is considered one of the top jobs, and there are top jobs that pay millions in college.
Yes.
But to him and others like him would think that's below him, whether it's race or not.
Uppity.
We're moving on. Chip
I'm
Hayner.
not even going to get started with it. It doesn't even warrant a response. But there's three things I want to touch base on. Some things are always going to be the way they've always been, and proof positive twice this weekend. The Cleveland Browns are always going to be the Cleveland Browns. How do you lose to a team with no kicker in the second half? They found a way. Baker Mayfield is not a franchise quarterback. Number one.
I'm choking.
Number two, we waited 8 games for Pitt to break their fan base's heart. Okay? And it wasn't a
took a
matter of if it was going to happen, it was a matter of when is it going to happen. And they get themselves national notoriety and they lose to an unranked team. It's going to happen.
Chip, you're on fire.
Every
Carry on.
year.
Carry on.
Next up, tonight, Game 6, World Series, the Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros. The Atlanta Braves will win their 4th world title tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? And give you an idea of, you talk about the Pirates' futility over the last century or more.
Yes.
And the Pirates have won 5 World Series over that period of time. Well, the Boston, the Braves franchise, which started in the city of Boston, the franchise has won 3
Smoking
World
Jim
Series
didn't know that.
in over 100 years. They won 1 in Boston.
Right.
They won one in Milwaukee, which was authored by none other than the true home run king, Hammer and Hank
that. I
Aaron.
remember
You weren't even alive. If you were, you just dated yourself.
I remember
that
they-
was 1957.
No, I remember it. I heard about Milwaukee Braves, not the
So
Boston
Jim
Braves.
Odja, you want to know what year? I just told you.
He just caught himself.
Okay. And then in 1995, the Atlanta Braves beat the Cleveland Indians in 6 games. So history is going to repeat itself tonight. But, I'm looking for the Braves. And the reason why I'm choosing the Braves this evening, and I'm not a huge fan of 4.5-hour baseball games, but that seems to be what they're gunning for, because in any game managed by Dusty Baker, it's a 4-hour experience regardless of what. But because of the lack of starting pitching, because the Astros lost Lance McCullers, the number
Right.
1 starter, they are starting a pitcher tonight on 3 days rest. I think his name is Alvarez, and he's the guy that does the little dance.
Yeah.
Luis Garcia,
No, is that who's pitching?
the one that rocks the baby and then steps.
Yeah, well, he's pitching on 3 days rest.
He does.
He's pitching on 3 days rest.
He'll have to
Atlanta is starting one of their 5 starters this evening, Max Fried, who's on 5 days rest. And if by some chance Atlanta's pitching doesn't pull through tonight, then they've got Ian Anderson to
Bullpen.
pitch Game 7, and Ian Anderson already won 1 game this series. He was pitching, and he only pitched 5 innings, but he pitched 5 innings of no-hit ball.
Yeah.
And when I say Ian Anderson, I don't mean the lead singer from Jethro Tull.
Oh, I liked him. One of my favorites.
So, excited for the World Series. Hate to see the baseball season end, but I don't think I've ever witnessed a game managed by Dusty Baker that's lasted less than 4 hours.
Yeah.
He could have a 13-0 lead, and he'll start pulling pitchers every 3 batters from the 6th inning on just to extend the game. But,
Imagine if they didn't change that rule.
What
anytime
team
they
does
changed.
Dusty Baker manage?
the Houston Astros.
Okay. I'm going to pull for them. Did Hank Aaron play on that World Championship team? For
1957, yes,
Milwaukee?
he
play?
did.
I never
And for
knew
the
that.
Milwaukee Braves.
Okay, thanks.
And for all you people trying to figure out his age, he just said he was there for 57.
No, I said
That
I
makes him
heard the Milwaukee
64.
Braves. I
That
heard-
makes him 64.
I heard of Milwaukee
64.
Braves.
I'm
I
guessing.
never heard of the Boston Braves.
Well, I'm just guessing that he's 64 now because he just heard it.
Great job on the Negro Leagues last week. Good shit.
You're very welcome with Gus Greenlee and
I enjoyed it.
Cumberland Posey.
I had to leave early, but I tuned in.
Can we move on,
Yes, sir.
smoking? Okay. Thanks, Chip.
Jeez.
Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
The Steelers won another game. That's exciting. Yay.
Where's the banner?
See, I heard that some of the Sportsline fans kind of got me for jinxing the Steelers after week 1, so I'm just going to cut out the nonsense and just
Go for
stay
it.
cautiously optimistic.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Welcome
I got-
aboard.
I got some friends from Waynesburg who are fans of the Cleveland Indians, and
You mean the
I'm sorry, not I meant the Browns.
The
My mind
Clowns.
went down. The Clowns, the Cleveland Clowns.
We can't
One
be
guy's like,
intimidated.
Baker's my dude. You guys are going down. Baker Mayfield had one moment in a playoff game against the Steelers where they won, and apparently this was a huge game for the Browns because the Steelers are coming to Cleveland, and now we got to make another statement, and he didn't. So I agree with Chip. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's not a franchise quarterback. He's very mediocre. Unfortunately, they wasted a first overall pick on him for him to not be that well and then try to push through an injury that
You
was just so
crushed-
unnecessary.
You just crushed
Right,
Smoking
right,
Jim
right.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, well,
Nick, to kind of speak to your point, Odell Beckham Jr. is trying to get himself traded out of Cleveland, so he got his daddy to start ripping on Baker Mayfield, and he said that the reason why Odell Beckham Jr.'s stats are down because Baker won't throw him the ball.
Well, Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't run routes very well anymore,
Well,
so I mean
according
that might
to his
also be the
dad-
problem.
According to his dad, he's going into the Hall of Fame.
Not with the injuries he said. Anyway, so
We
I mean,
all have great dads, so he's allowed to say that.
yeah, well, but I think the Browns got too hyped up. I'm really glad to see them in last place. I'm still going to be cautiously optimistic about the Steelers. I'm going to say right now I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to the Lions in these next 2 games, and Justin Fields looks good for the Bears. So
Whoa, you heard it here first.
on to baseball.
Well, the one last thing on the Steelers, though. The Steelers' defense played lights out.
Yes, they did.
They did. And the team with the best rushing attack in football was stymied the whole game on Sunday.
Well, one last thing about Baker Mayfield. He passed for more touchdowns as a rookie than any other quarterback in NFL history.
Is he still a rookie?
Let me finish. And he played with a separated shoulder. You name me a quarterback that could have done
Why
that.
did he play with a separated shoulder? That's kind of my
He got
point.
hard.
But the year
doesn't
that
have a shoulder, but he
he
has a
set
heart.
the record for the most touchdown passes by a rookie, they had a losing season.
Smoking Jim, I got to put an exception on there with how he played.
He's the best quarterback in the league.
I don't know if you ever heard about players playing injured in the NFL. Have you ever heard that?
No, separated shoulder.
No, but players playing
Yes.
injured.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever hear about they give them a needle?
Yes, sir.
That's what happened.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
But
Thank
yeah.
you, Smoking Jim.
But I did appreciate the way Baker Mayfield celebrated a first down while we celebrated a win.
Good point, Chip.
Same way he celebrated that playoff.
All right,
win
Nick,
last
what did you have to
That
end on
did
your
a lot of
segment
good,
here?
right?
Baseball.
Where's his trophy?
I'm going for the Braves this evening, like Chip. You like the Astros because of Dusty Baker, but
No, he likes it because he believes if you're not cheating like the Astros
if
and
Dusty
others.
Baker were managing the Braves, would you go for the Braves?
I don't
No, he
particularly
likes
like
cheaters.
Dusty. I don't like Dusty Baker unless he got little kids getting ready to get run over at home plate.
He
But
likes
no one-
the Astros because they're cheaters.
Yeah.
That's why.
But
You got to go to the core here.
Chip mentioned the 4-hour baseball games as well, and I got to tell you, it's kind of been lackluster for the Braves as they've come through the home stretch of the World Series. They've got a couple good starters, but they've also been using the opener extensively. And I got to tell you, in the World Series, it's not so exciting to see the rotunda of pitchers just cycle through. Even as somebody that's young, I'm not a huge fan of the opener, though I do think that it can be useful to winning games, but to me, it's like I'm losing that bit of excitement for baseball when it comes to that. Like, we talk about, home
Older
runs
than
are changing the game.
22. This can't be true.
Because, like, when we see teams in the past, like we had Chris Sale pitching for the Red Sox,
Yeah.
and he's going in that 2018 rotation.
Nick,
It was exciting to see Verlander and Greinke pitch for the 2019 Astros, even though they weren't
Yeah.
cheaters back then, but it's still exciting to
But
watch.
Nick, you're making a great point, and my point is, both teams' starting pitching staffs have been absolutely decimated by injuries. That they're putting together a patchwork of pitchers just trying to get through 9 innings.
I understand.
It's not they had starting pitching staffs,
I understand.
but the injuries have taken their toll,
I
and
understand.
subsequently they're left. And I hate using 6 pitchers in a game. I
Yes.
mean, I love to see starters go 6, 7, 8 innings. Bring in your closer and you bring in your hammer to nail down the 9th. But they've got to do what they've got to do at this point, and it's all.
I
hands
just
on
don't
deck.
like it. I don't like how it goes.
And I agree.
And
with
that's
you.
me.
I
I think
agree
it's makes the game lackluster. So
You heard
that's
it.
what's on my mind.
You heard it here.
You heard it here that I
Chip's
actually agreed
agreeing
with him.
Nick. And Nick, we feel your pain.
And he didn't even acknowledge it, man. I
know.
I was hoping he'd kiss the ring.
Well, no, he's trying to follow through. His segment got so
Write him a thank you
decimated.
letter.
Yeah.
All right, we'll carry on. No, I don't even know what was on my mind. Let me think. All right, Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
I'm a fan of Mahomes, greatest quarterback ever. What happened this year? All of a sudden, some of the lucky plays and bizarre dancing and moves he made, they're giving away the ball like it's
Christmas.
candy. It's like it's Halloween. You want a Reese's or Snickers? Oh, you took both?
Yeah.
They grabbed both. So I understand that. And I was watching that game last night. I watched the whole game, and it was just tough to watch how the Giants aren't really good, but they showed brilliant defense at times and some offense. And then Mahomes, they're defending him with not one of the better teams. They got 2 safeties back. They call it the Tampa 2. They got 2 safeties back. And if he throws a pass in 2.5 seconds, he's off the charts. If he throws a pass in 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds, he's terrible. So he needs to slow down. and just think about what he can do and not try to force it because he needs to.
Well, here's the thing that is going on with I think with Mahomes. The more you put on tape that people can watch and find out what your tendencies are, the easier it becomes for defenses to defend against him. And the longer he plays in the league, the less he's going to be the magic man that he's been in the past. So it's just a matter of, there's people that have nothing better to do than to study him and his tendencies and how to defeat what he does well.
Chip, to the left of you is a guy that watches 2 games a week, whether it's high school,
And he's
grade
agreeing
school,
with me over here.
college, NFL. He's watched 2 games, so he knows people's tendencies. It's like my dad always said, what do you do next? So what will Mahomes do next when he figures out?
And also, to be honest with you, I think he's playing hurt.
Yeah. And he knows his defense, I'll say this, sucks. So he's trying to overcompensate for what they're not doing. And he has to worry about that. His offensive line, the replacements they got, aren't blocking as well for him.
Do you think the Steeler linebacker is going to help the Chiefs?
What do you mean?
They just traded Ingram to the Chiefs.
Well,
Melvin Ingram, the guy that couldn't even
here's
make it.
where I'm
They couldn't even
confused.
make a 53-man squad.
Well, since we're on it, we're running out of time, so we're just gonna go to Steeler talk now. Because here's what's interesting: you bring up about Ingram. Did they hire him to be a starter or a backup of a backup?
They hired him to be the backup for Taco Charlton.
Yes. Yes, and then if people want to glorify Taco, why wasn't he playing sooner?
You want to hear the interesting thing?
Yes.
He was drafted the same year as T.J. Watt. He was drafted higher in the first round than T.J. Watt.
Well, I'm glad we got him then.
Well, Ingram was lied to by Colbert and Tomlin again. They won the
You
first
talk
round.
about your friends like that.
I love them. I love them, but they
Those are friends. What's he say
they
about
lied
us?
to Ingram.
So what fact are you basing this off of?
Pardon me?
What fact are you basing this off of?
Well, number one, to get him to come here, and I think they paid him, what, $8 million?
$4 million.
$4 million, close.
Yeah, close.
Yeah,
Half-
50% less.
But he came here, and he coming off some injuries. He came here, and he was, if you've seen the Buffalo game, he was in the rotation. Give him water breather, giving Alex Highsmith, who has no business starting a breather, and he played even some in the middle linebacker. And then after that, Tomlin and Keith Butler backstabbed
No,
him.
they didn't, because if
He
you
had
were
a
there-
sack in the game.
Wait.
He got a sack and a half.
Okay, in one game. Then when he played against the Cincinnati Bengals, he didn't have a tackle, an assist, and a sack, and he played the whole game.
But the Jets did a good job on Cincinnati, didn't they?
Well, yeah, see, notice how he misdirects. Hey, can I do a quick list?
Yeah, you could.
A quick list, okay?
Yeah, 'cause
This is a list
we
that I'm
extended
making.
so far that
I want to, this is a list that I
you
did
can do your list because you've been working on it. Go ahead.
in honor of Smoking Jim. Okay, these are the top 5 players that have won the most World Series rings,
Okay.
and there's 31 of them.
Really?
Yeah, the top 5. There's 31 of them.
I got it now.
Chip, that went right over.
I like
All right.
that.
So
Carry on.
number 5. Okay, number 5 on the list. Players that have won 5 World Series championships. Most of these are New York Yankees.
Okay.
Derek Jeter, David Cohn, Lefty Gomez,
Yeah. I
Joe
love
Collins, Tony Lazzari, Eddie Lopat, Gel McDougall, Mariano Rivera, the only player unanimously elected to the Hall of Fame, Red Rolfe,
Whoa.
Andy Pettit, Joe Gordon, Jim Catfish Hunter,
Yeah.
Johnny Mize, George Selkirk, Bill Moose Scoron, Gene Woodling, and Paul O'Neill. At number 4, with 6 World Series championships, is Red Ruffing, Lou Gehrig, Frank Corsetti, Johnny Murphy, Whitey Ford,
Wow.
Ali Reynolds, and Vic Rashi. Number 3 on our list.
Is Whitey Ford in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is,
That's what I thought.
How do you recognize him?
because he's white.
Thank you.
Wait, is that really all you got from that? Oh Lord, you're wearing a Yankees hat.
Okay, number 3 on the list. with 7 World Series championships, Babe Ruth,
Ooh.
Bill Dickey, Hank Bauer, the Mickey Mantle, and Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. Number 2 on the list, all by himself,
Uh-oh.
Jolton Joe DiMaggio.
How many he got? 9?
He got 9. Wow. Number 1 on the list, no less.
Yogi.
The master of the yogiism, Yogi Berra.
That's
Yogi
what's
got 10?
That's what's incredible.
Wow.
I got it.
Wow, that's an awesome list.
Chip, thanks for putting the list on. We had the extended first segment of the show. We cut out Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim. Because we found out there weren't too many facts that he was throwing out.
I just wanted to keep it short with
Thank
the top
you.
5.
Thank
but
you.
I can fit 31 of them in.
Good job.
I'm glad you cut it to top 5.
That went over my head for the first time.
Well, I got it right away. I was waiting for his punchline, you. And if he would have done top 10, who knows if there would have been 100.
Geez, we might have been here for a
Yeah,
while.
we would have been here, but I
We'd
wanted.
have had to send Nick out to pop some popcorn or something.
Yes, or bring out some of that Halloween candy. Who didn't bring any here with us? We need a treat.
Oh, no, man.
But
I
let's
got
get
it
in-
squirreled away at home.
Let's get into the Steelers a little bit here with Smoking Jim giving the negatives about Ingram and just how good he was from being an all-star to being injured to we got him and then he has a bad groin
Let's talk about how good he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't good enough to
play.
play. I mean, he was brought in as a backup at best for T.J. Watt and for Alex Highsmith. And once they were completely healthy, there's no, he didn't earn himself any playing time. And you know what? Get over it. You're 32 years old. Your career's on the downslide.
What are we doing?
Let's see what he does for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the point I made earlier is that the Steelers' defense played absolutely lights out this past weekend.
Yes.
T.J. Watt is again making a statement for Defensive Player of the Year.
And he's earning his pay.
Well, and Cam Hayward
Oh,
is having the season of his career. You've got to admit he's
I ain't
playing.
seen him
well.
do anything Sunday.
Yeah. Well, you were the only one that watched the game. But anyhow, Cam Hayward's playing very, very well.
Chip, I agree with you.
You
I disagree with the Steelers scout.
So let me, here's the thing that I don't understand. Was the Steelers secondary that good, or did the Cleveland Browns receivers like Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. get a little bit of alligator arms on there? I think it looked like T-Rex when they were running their passes.
On that, Chip, on that note, I don't know if you listen to the announcers that much because sometimes they say some of the dumbest things, but each time they dropped the pass or didn't get the pass, they said they were a little worried about getting hit. They said on air that it looked like they were worried about getting hit. So you're spot on. What Smoking Jim watched was another game.
Well, I tell you what, when you got a team that's got the #1 rushing attack in football, and running against the Steelers team that has been subjected to the run, look what the Seattle Seahawks did in the second half.
Yeah.
Okay, and the Steelers shut down Nick Chubb in the Cleveland running game. There was no question about it. They couldn't run the ball. They scored once in the first half, once in the second half. You keep the score at 10 points, you're going to win those games.
Well, this is what I've seen, and I think you guys will agree. I've never seen the referees allow the defensive backs to hold and grab as much as Cleveland Browns. I mean, they wasn't calling any kind of penalties on Cleveland. Cleveland's defensive backs were all grabby. I mean, I couldn't believe.
Where'd they
weren't
play?
making the
Where'd they
call.
play at?
They were playing in Cleveland.
How does that happen?
But I tell you what, did I tell you? I love that kid from Penn State. I said he's
Baby Gronk.
He's Baby Gronk. He can't block, so don't forget that.
But he doesn't
this
drop
guy-
anything.
This guy has the best body control I've ever seen from a tight end, and he catches everything and
can't
then
see
loves
the
it.
time, so
That
you
was a
might be telling me.
beautiful touchdown grab. And I tell you what, I'm all for it. Run him till the wheels come off. Why save him for next year? He might get hurt.
Who?
I love Najee Harris. I mean, I'd run him 30, 40 times a game.
No,
Look
yeah.
what he's doing with such a bad start.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
and to
he's
speak
tough.
to what Najee Harris was able to do last weekend, you're starting to see the offensive line mature for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first few games of the season, after the first win, Jim said the Steelers weren't going to win another game this year.
Yes, he did.
But the offensive line is playing better each and every week. There's no all-pros on that line
No.
right now. But you know what?
They're a work in progress.
By the end of the year,
I've never seen so many holding penalties on the offensive line.
well,
Really?
You never watched football then?
Were there really that many?
Oh, yeah, 76 every time you turn around. Holding 76, holding 76.
Maybe 4 times.
but
That's
you
not
know
every
what?
That's not all that many. You know.
Yeah.
These guys are getting a baptism of fire.
Here, talking about penalties, there's a guy named Steve Callis gave a message. Just wondering, when Boswell got leveled, was there a roughing the passer? No.
No, and there should have been. There should have been
I don't know.
because the guy that
yeah.
tackled him hit him with the crown of his helmet in the
It was
face.
helmet, yeah.
He hit him with the crown of his helmet in his face.
And what?
Then because Boswell at that point was a passer, he should have been entitled to the same protections the quarterback had. But they didn't call it, and you know.
Well, let's talk about how stupid the call was.
Well, you know what? No, wait a minute. I take exception with that.
They're just going.
You can say that the call was stupid when it didn't work. Yeah, it was stupid. But had that play worked, he would have been a genius.
Every team in the league got their backup quarterback holding for kicks. We got a fat punter holding for kicks. We're going to snap it right to. Not only was it a bad call, they should have called timeout or checked out of it. Cleveland knew it was coming. They had 5 guys back.
So if that play would have succeeded, and they would
No,
have
it
scored
wouldn't.
a
It never
touchdown.
would have succeeded with a
What
kicker throwing.
What I thought was amazing was Ben Roethlisberger ran it in for a 2-point conversion.
I love that.
And there was a holding penalty on that.
Right.
And you want to talk about a BS holding call?
That wasn't.
Because Ben was already past the lineman and the defensive tackle. He was already diving into the end zone, and the tackle had this guy's arm. There was no way that
That's
he
your
held
great
him.
offensive line, huh?
No,
Like I
Smoking
said,
Work in progress.
It's a work
Like you
in
said, work in
progress.
progress.
It's a work in
You
progress.
missed this point, Smoking Jim. Not to be too critical of you, but
Our immobile
I
quarterback,
was wondering.
No, but-
quarterback sneaked a 2-point conversion.
was-
Ben moved.
and Smoking
One
Jim.
more year with
No.
Ben.
Did you listen that Ben was in the end zone? The guy then held the guy, so he scored before the hold.
They was mugging all
Do you
game.
understand? He scored before the
They was
hold.
mugging all game.
Scored before the hold.
So here's what
Thank
my
you.
take is on what's happening with the Steelers right now. You know, when the Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
okay, the next 3 games, you know, Ben was trying to put it all on his shoulders that Ben has to play to a certain level for the Steelers to win. Really, all Ben has to do is be a good game manager.
Yeah.
He's got enough weapons in his offense with Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool and Freiermuth and Najee Harris.
And Gentry.
Let
How about
the
Gentry
young
once in a
kids
while?
make the plays. Ben just needs to be smart with the way he distributes the ball, not turn it over. Okay, and if the play isn't there, throw it out of bounds.
Sure.
Throw it out of bounds. Yes, sir.
With your offensive line, that's a work in progress. When are they going to get up to snuff enough for Ben to have enough time to go deep? Because it's Chuck and Duck right now with that offensive line that you guys all seem to like.
Chuck
Well,
and
you know what I like more than
No,
anything
I-
else?
I don't
Hold
like
on, wait a
hold
minute.
on.
You know what I like more than
Wait a
anything
minute.
else?
Hey,
Wait a
don't
minute.
lump
Three
me in a
wins
like.
in
Wait a
row.
minute. Wait a minute.
3 wins in a row.
congrats.
I don't care how they get them.
Maybe 5 coming up.
Smoking Jim.
maybe 5.
I like 3 wins.
Smoke it.
Don't matter how they get them.
Please, Chuck and Duck. I've never heard that term. Can you explain that for me?
Well, Chuck and Duck is a term that Buddy
No, Chuck.
Ryan
Chuck
coined
And
when he punched his offensive coordinator in the mouth on Monday Night Football.
oh,
Yeah, but listen, when your offensive line don't give you enough time to throw to the greatest wide receiver in Steeler history, Claypool deep. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing.
that's
I'm
the
seeing-
opinion of the year.
I'm seeing a,
Say it
a
again.
quarterback that
Oot.
got to get rid of the ball quickly or he's getting sacked.
Oh,
hold on.
Everybody, here, listen. You guys talking about T.J. Watt. You know I love T.J. Watt. I said on draft day he was the greatest linebacker in Steeler history. But the MVP of the league is Myles Garrett. He got 10.5 sacks already, man. And I tell you what, that Halloween costume, He got my vote.
Yeah, but Smoking Jim,
Well, you know what?
Smoking Jim, you like a liar. You like a known liar.
Here's all I got to say.
I believe him.
Here's
You
all
like
I
a
got to say
liar.
about Myles Garrett. Dan Moore Jr.
You mean when he sacked Ben and stripped him of the ball? That
The only
damn-
play he made all game.
He put pressure on it. How many times did Ben go deep?
Well, how many sacks did Garrett get? Okay, so he made one
Give him
play.
10 and a half sacks.
How many offensive plays were there? About 60? He made one play.
How many sacks did
So that's
Watt
an
get?
MVP right there.
How many sacks did Watt get? He got 10 and a half sacks. Watt
Who
only
won
got
the
8
football
and a half.
game? Who won the
Watt
football game?
got one
I'm
and a
just
half
I'm talking
sacks.
about
Who won the
MVP.
football game?
I'm talking about MVP. You
He's
don't
not
like
an
Myles
MVP.
Garrett?
No.
No.
You're a big man.
No.
Us big men got to stick together.
Oh, do
Hey, Smoking Jim, you're known to like liars for some unknown reason.
Why can you say he's a liar? You don't know. I believe him.
Smoking Jim,
You know,
his own players never said that they heard the N-word.
And they did say they didn't.
They said they didn't hear
And
it.
they said they didn't hear it.
No, they
No,
didn't
no,
hear
you guys
it.
are saying the same thing.
Yeah, he's saying what I'm saying.
There are two NFL players that I just don't like. One of them is Richard Sherman for that interview he gave after the 2013
I don't remember
NFC
that.
Championship game where he
remember
called himself the best cornerback in the game, and then
This ain't when you start knocking all the black players, but go ahead.
no.
That's why.
Well, then the second one's Myles Garrett because
That's
I've
two.
never seen someone use their equipment as a weapon, and the helmet's very dangerous when it.
Myles Garrett is one of the greatest guys in the world, but when somebody called him the N-word, he lost it.
I don't believe that
The
happened.
unfortunate thing is nobody else on the field,
Yeah.
nor the referees, nor the cameras,
Mike
nor the
Tomlin didn't
mics
say
that
anything.
are surrounding the field
They
picked
was
that up.
kissing at the time. If somebody's kissing, only them two heard it.
Smoking Jim.
What?
And then the other thing, I take offense. Rarely do you get me upset, but you said I like the offensive line of the Steelers. You said I do. You said you guys.
Oh, I didn't know. My fault.
Yeah,
no,
so I want an
I
apology.
said you people.
So that makes it better.
That's worse.
That makes it better. Sure.
Disclaimer, the opinions of Smoking Jim are his own, and if he tends to be racist, it sure seems that way. He's my BFF. He lumped me together when I said they have to work to get better.
Good point.
They
good
got
point.
better.
You know what?
They got better from the first game. And Smoking Jim, I have a theory my whole life. I don't care what a game looks like. I just care about the one word, W. And when you're winning, I don't care how you got there. And you want to beat people up and you want to have your opinion, and you can have your opinion till you die about Myles Garrett. It'll never change mine. The guy lied to get out of a bad situation he put himself into.
I just got one question. Is he a great ball player?
No.
No, he's a Cleveland Brown.
Y'all got to at least give him a
No,
great
the
ball
Browns, I have empathy for him. I
So-
feel bad for
So
him. A
here's,
mistake on a lake.
here's something perplexing.
Okay.
How does a Pitt team that's 6-2 is an unranked team, and a Penn State team that's 5-3 and has lost 3 games in a row is ranked 22nd?
Pitt's not in the top 25? With a Heisman
Not
Trophy
listed as
winner?
not without.
Penn State's more consistent over the years.
No, Penn State's having a bad. They lost to Illinois.
Timeouts. I said, are they more consistent over the years?
You go by this year. Go by this year.
Who does?
No, they don't.
The
They go by
ranking.
reputation. But
that
Penn
was-
State is
That's what you
ranked
was
number 22, and Pitt is not ranked.
Is it time?
Just about.
All right.
So
Hey.
tomorrow night we got the Penguins and the Flyers, another old rivalry game. Sid came back Saturday night.
Right,
Unfortunately,
congrats.
Penguins didn't look very good.
No.
But that's kind of
Well, they're missing a lot of players.
well. Here's the thing: every time Sid comes back from a long layoff, the Penguins usually lose the first game back.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's the nature of the beast.
All right. Tony from Chick-fil-A said Joe Burrow MVP. We'll discuss that another day, but we're going to have to end this show. Our clock is out. Our camera's out. Oh, now something's coming up.
We're good. We're on Facebook. We're still going.
We're gonna end this show, so please stay Joey strong.
Hi, I'm Kathy Moscato, Bethel Park Assistant Recreation Director, and I'm excited to tell you that No Cook Tuesdays will be returning to the Community Center Playground parking lot October 5th, running from 4 to 7 p.m. through November 23rd. No Cook Tuesdays will bring you a variety of food vendors every Tuesday, so you can come and pick up your dinner and not have to cook. Looking forward to seeing you here on Tuesdays, 4 to 7 p.m.
And you're sitting on your butt, watching TV, and you're surfing for something good. Just grab your remote and follow me to Bethel Park TV. BPTV. BPTV. It's at Comcast 7, Verizon 32, and even on YouTube. Made by Bethel Park residents, it's a little slice of heaven. Heaven, 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 heaven. Be sure to visit BPTV. BPTV. Be sure to visit BPTV. Bethel Park TV.
Hi, Bethel Park. Uncle Al speaking. I'm asking you to come help us behind the scenes at BP TV. We're looking for some proud Bethel Park residents to help us make the shows that you want to watch. For more information, contact Station Director Dave Cable, and we will see you behind the cameras at BP TV.
Can you tell me where you were on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock?
No. Can you tell me where it was at 7 p.m. on Tuesday?
What if I told you I can? What if I told you I know exactly where you are every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock?
Every Tuesday night? Why would I be doing the same thing every Tuesday night?
Maybe because you like pizza.
What are you getting at?
We have your fingerprints all over the switcher in the control room. I can smell the Olive Oil's pizza on your breath. I think you know exactly what I'm getting at.
You can't prove anything.
We have eyewitnesses that can place you at the scene. You might as well just come clean.
Okay, I admit it. I help broadcast Pittsburgh Sportsline Live every Tuesday night at 7 on BPTV.
I know you do, Anthony. Because I'm there too.
What?
Because I'm the VIP.
So check out the VIP, Al Levine, the Talking Machine, and the rest of the lively crew on Pittsburgh Sportsline every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on BPTV.
Okay.